Listen to a conversation between a student and a professor.
You wanted to see me, Jane?
Yes, I'd really like your opinion on something.
Okay.
Well, I have to make a decision about graduate school.
Oh, I thought you were going to go to Harvard.
I am, and I'm really excited about it. I could hardly believe it when I got a teaching assistant position in the business school, and I can't thank you enough for the letter that you sent. I'm sure it was the reason they gave me the opportunity.
It may have helped, but your class evaluations for the summer classes you taught here probably meant more to the committee. So what's to decide?
I just got a letter from Professor Chang.
Chang. Oh, yes, he's the one doing that interesting research on business practices in Asia.
Right.
Oh, I see where this is going.
I speak Chinese, and I want to do my dissertation on small businesses in China. So he offered me a research assistantship, and now I don't know what to do.
Well, it's a good problem to have, if you know what I mean.
I know. It's just that I see advantages to both options.
Okay, but first, have you given the committee an answer about the teaching assistantship? You haven't signed any contracts or anything?
No, the opportunities came right on top of each other. One day I didn't have any options, and 2 days later I had 2 great options.
Okay, that's good, because if you decide to go with the research, you won't have to get out of the teaching agreement.
Right.
So let's talk about the advantages of the teaching position. Why would that be a good option?
Well, for one thing, when I was teaching this summer, I found out that I really enjoyed it. I liked preparing for the classes. I looked forward to interacting with the students. It was an all-around great experience.
And?
And it made me wonder if I might not enjoy teaching more than going back to a job in business.
Okay. Anything else that attracts you to the teaching assistantship?
I was thinking that if I do pursue a teaching career, it'd be much better to have the teaching experience on my vita than the research. Don't you think?
Sounds reasonable. But what about the research? Why are you attracted to that option?
That's the problem. I'm not sure that my reasons are very good. See, Professor Chang is very well known, and if he likes my work, I'm thinking he'd probably serve as the chairman for my dissertation committee, and that would just about guarantee that I'd have a publishable dissertation.
Go on.
And he could probably open a lot of doors for me if I do decide to go back into business. I was actually thinking about trying to set up something in Asia after I graduate.
So what's the downside for both options?
Okay. The downside of teaching is that if I really enjoy it and I decide to go into teaching full-time after I get my PhD, the money isn't that great.
True. You'd make a lot more in the business world.
But the downside of the research is Professor Chang might want so much of my time that I won't be able to work on my dissertation. At least with the teaching assistantship, the job responsibilities and the hours are spelled out in the contract. And I was thinking, if he isn't happy with my work, the work I do with him, then he probably wouldn't help me anyway to get started on my own in Asia when I graduate. So you see my problem.
How long do you have to think about it?
I have to send in a contract next week.
So it really sounds like you need to get clear about what you want to do after Harvard, and then you'll know which opportunity would be the best stepping stone.
Exactly. I just don't want to make the wrong decision.
Well, you don't have a lot of time, but you don't have to decide today either. Why don't you sleep on it?
That's a good idea. And thanks for listening. Maybe, if you wouldn't mind, I could talk with you again before next week.
Sure, Jane.